Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce RTX 4070 Super in Palworld, as my Brazilian friends say. So, this one is the Founders Edition model of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Up's GPU. Recessable bar is also enabled, and over on the left, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 9 7950X3D with half of its cores disabled. We're only utilizing the 3D cache cores, so this runs the same as a Ryzen 7 7800X3D, which is a very good pairing for the 4070 Super. Over on the memory tab, we're using 32GB of DDR5 6000MHz RAM in dual channel CL30, and let's get right into the game, shall we? Alright, let's go over the settings first. I'm starting at 1080p resolution using the maximum settings or epic settings here, no DLSS. Let's do this. Alright guys, here we have it. I'm running this in DirectX 11 and it's getting pretty much the same FPS as in DirectX 12, although the X11 is a little bit smoother. Even though it's super stuttery still, the X12 is just completely unplayable, especially if you're starting to throw new attacks and so on. It just becomes an unplayable stuttery mess, so I don't recommend it, okay? Just launch the game in its default state. You don't need to add the the X12 launch option, and yeah, it's gonna run okay-ish. I was getting like 5 FPS 1% lows previously in the X12. It was really terrible. Anyways, you can see that it is a high refresh rate experience here at 1080p resolution. To be expected, of course. It's a freaking 4070 Super, closing performance to a 3090, so it should be capable of achieving high refresh rates in pretty much every game out there at 1080p, especially without ray tracings and so on. But this game, being a UE5 title, it stutters like crazy, dude. Oh my god, stop it. Okay, it's not as bad right now. Why are you attacking the poor pals? I don't understand. 1% lows in the 30s right now. And huge frame drops, especially if you're traversing the world really fast like this and fighting all of these bastards right here. It starts stuttering a lot, as you can see. Obviously, as you play the game and load in more things, the lighting just changed dramatically here. What the hell? It will become smoother and smoother, but overall this game is just a stuttery mess, guys, unfortunately. So even though the FPS are very high and good for a high refresh rate experience, 25 FPS 1% lows. Are you freaking crazy? Please, developers, I know it's in early access and so on, but this is really unacceptable, guys. Anyways, that's it for 1080p resolution. I am surprised, however, that we don't have a CPU bottleneck, you know, open world title like this one, you know, UE5 once again. Yeah, the GPU usage is always at 99% unless a stutter happens, but yeah, that's not a CPU bottleneck. GPU usage maxing out at 99% is nice to see. Anyway, let's move on and try a little bit of DLSS. I just want to see what the CPU is capable of, so I'm gonna use performance DLSS. Obviously, you shouldn't use this at 1080p with a 4070 Super. There's no point. Oh, it caps out at 240, as you can see. That's the maximum engine limit in this game, I guess. Well, not engine, but they just put the 240 FPS limit on it. So yeah, you can't really go above 240, and most of the time, I guess it's just gonna hover around 200. Still GPU bound, which is interesting. So 7800X3D performs extremely well in Palworld. I'm gonna try it at 1440p. Now, to change the resolution, I actually have to close the game, change it in the desktop, and get back to it because the game still doesn't allow you to change the resolution inside of the game for some reason. It's really weird unless you're in windowed mode, but I went full screen, obviously. And we're back here, guys, at 2560 by 1440. You can see I can't really change the resolution. Why, developers? Please fix your game already. We're using epic settings still. No DLSS again, so it's native resolution. And at 1440p, it's still going to be a high refresh rate experience. Megasphere. Okay, nice. Yeah, as you can see, it's getting around 120 FPS, which is going to be very smooth indeed. I am going to try to get this bastard out and kill all of these guys. Yes, I don't have bullets anymore. Oh, they're fighting something. What? Hello? Let's go with the axe, I guess. Why are you fighting my boy over there? Holy crap. I am so strong here. Jesus, 7,000 damage. Oh boy, explosions and everything, not a problem. Good stuff. It's good to see that at least the explosions are optimized, kind of. At least after you've loaded them for the first time, but it still stutters. God damn it. Wait. It's really weird because with the RTX 4060, I don't remember the 1% lows to be this bad, but the game also got a couple of updates already, so maybe they just broke it again, you know? I wouldn't be surprised, really. Alright, so what should we do now, guys? I think we should go up to that mountain right there because it looks interesting, and we can see a lot of things happening. A lot of environments, I guess, although everything looks very similar in this game, actually. Look at this, down here it's getting down into the 100s, like lower 100s, but I still haven't seen it dip down into the 90s, aside from when it stutters, of course, but that doesn't count. Hopefully they will actually... Wait, what's the name of this guy? Oh, fuck. Oh, right. It looked like something else. Okay. But yeah, I really hope that the developers take a look at the freaking stuttery mess that this game is. I don't understand how they cannot feel the stuttering and that something is wrong with this. And also, I see some people in the comments saying, no, my game, my Palworld is completely smooth. I have no problems with stuttering whatsoever. Well, I'll tell you why. It's probably because you have played other UE5 titles, you haven't upgraded your drivers in a while, or maybe you just spent like 100 hours already in Palworld and loaded everything that there was to load. I myself, since I am always swapping GPUs around, I gotta install the new drivers and so on, and the shader cache just gets wrecked, basically. I gotta do it all over again. Let's go, buddy. Ooh, there's an egg over here as well. Holy crap! Alright, this actually looks pretty cool. So the environments are very different depending on where you are, apparently. At least this one is very, very different from what we've seen so far. Is that gold down there? Probably not. Ooh, wait a second. Look at this guy over here. Looking fantastic. No, I'm sorry to disrupt your peace. Everything is fine. Also, apparently this is not really as intensive as the trees and the vegetation areas. Obviously, to be expected. This is just rocks, basically. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm fine. Oh, no! I died! I'm not fine! And I lost my things as well! Oh no, that's absolutely terrible. Okay, can I just go back to my previous save, please? Look at that, dropping down into the 90s around here, so this denser forest is definitely way more intensive. It's probably like one of the most intensive areas in the entire game. I'm glad the base is right next to it, actually. Anyway, let's try it with quality DLSS if you require a little bit higher FPS for it to be enjoyable. Again, I think I'd be fine with the experience at native resolution, so no need for more FPS. But you can expect like a 20 FPS boost if you enable DLSS on quality. And that means that over in these forest areas, we get around like 115 plus FPS all of the time, I guess. 120s. And wherever we got like 150 FPS previously, or 140s, 130s, we would now get around like 20 more FPS. So that's it. That's the results for DLSS quality. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. It's a bit meh. I can see a lot of aliasing, for example, on the wings of this PAL right here with DLSS quality, and that was not really the case at native resolution. So there's that. I wouldn't use DLSS, but you feel free to do whatever you want, of course. Both native and DLSS experiences are great. Okay, now we're up to 4K resolution. What is happening here? Oh, they're fighting me. Come on, buddy. Save me, parachute boy. There we go. So as I was saying, 4K resolution using epic settings and no DLSS. So this is native 4K resolution, and we're seeing around 60-ish frames per second, which is okay. It's not really amazing because it will definitely drop, as you can see, in very intensive areas like this one, into the 50s. The stutters, man. At this point, I'm not sure if the shaders will load with time because we've been playing around this area for a long time already today, and it still has freaking stuttering issues. 56 here, dropping a little bit further than the other forest over there, but yeah, 55, 54. Okay, it gets really intensive here. If you have an overclocked version of the RTX 4070 Super, you might actually be capable of achieving closer to 60 in these areas. Instead of like 55, maybe you'd get 58, 59 FPS. And if you manually overclock it, probably 60 plus actually. But yeah, it's a little bit inconsistent in terms of dropping from 60 FPS, you know. Dismount, come on, dismount, okay? And get over here. And I want the other boy, this one, yes. We need to go to our place. Oh, come on, no, buddy, please. Gosh, stop fighting everybody you see. Come on. All right, we need to go to the other place. Oh, I restarted counting the FPS, by the way. But yeah, we need to get our things back. But I'm not sure if I can get there, grab my things, and get out of there again, right? Let's go, kill these bastards. At least it's not stuttering anymore here. Well, sometimes it is, but it's just the random stutters that you can expect. Yeah, lots of fire effects and so on, and it drops FPS by a little bit. But overall, it's going to be a 60 plus FPS average experience with drops into the 50s. So at 4K resolution, I think I would enable DLSS here. Let's set it to quality. And all right, the wings are a little bit more shimmery, but I noticed this time that they were slightly shimmery as well at native resolution. And we're getting 60s and 70s, so it's really, really similar to what we saw previously. What is wrong with those trees? I gotta keep in mind this early access crisp, okay? Okay, let's throw the fireball then. Fireball. Come, buddy. Why do you start hitting everybody when I don't want you to? And now that people are actually shooting at us, you don't do anything. Oh, now you remember you got the fireball here. Okay, good. No, can't really fire anything. All right, never mind. Oh, there are our things, my friends. I thought we couldn't really see them, but there's a blue beam. Good stuff. And we're getting 120 plus FPS. Let's go. I'm hot already. Yeah, I can see my HP going down. Okay, but over here, everything is fine. So we need to start. Oh, they're sleeping. That's actually really cute. Look at that. Oh, come on. How can you be mad at the stuttering when we have things like that, right? Oh, look at the moon. Really realistic, actually. Look at this one. It's clipping into the rock. Hello, buddy. How's it going? Can I shoot you? Yes. I'm not gonna kill him. Yeah, you know what? Let's not disrupt their lives here. I'm here to grab my things and get out of there. All right, we got our things, my friends. Come, how do I take all? There we go. Haha, we're at our house, my friends. Finally, dropping down into the 80s around here. Not the 60s, which is great, but this is during night time, so maybe... Come on, get out, please. Can't get out there. Okay, there we go. Come over here, boy. I'm gonna go to sleep, and so are you. And it's dropping into the 80s, 70s now. Okay, 75. So instead of dropping into like the mid-50s, we gained the 20 FPS again that we saw previously at 1440p. It's about the same gains at 4K resolution. In terms of percentages, higher at 4K, of course. But yeah, FPS-wise... it's around the same. So I say it's a great experience. This is why I actually recommended the RTX 4070 Super for 4K gaming if you want like entry-level 4K gaming without ray tracing and you don't mind dropping things to like high settings, for example, in the most intensive titles, as well as using DLSS quality. That's still going to provide a great 4K experience in most games, and you don't need to spend like $1,000 on a 4080 Super or an even stronger GPU, you know? And now, lastly, because I am crazy like that, we're playing at 8K resolution, just to see what it's capable of. Of course, no one plays at 8K, and I turned it down to high settings instead of epic settings, and I also turned off anti-aliasing there. DLSS is off. Look at that, 240 FPS. It's definitely not gonna happen. Yep. Okay, so we're seeing around teens. It's the teens. Around 20 FPS, I guess, or below 20 FPS most of the time. If I go into the forest, it's gonna drop even further than that. Yep. It's completely unplayable here at 8K resolution, and I'm using high settings because, well, the medium settings start looking pretty rough in this game. I thought it was gonna run a little bit better than this for some weird reason. I don't know. We're actually VRAM maxed out at the moment. It already swapped some things that should be on VRAM into the RAM. Interestingly, though, it's not stuttering as much. Probably because we already played the game for a long time today, right? And loaded a ton of things. But yeah, it's interesting. The frame time itself, the graph, is way more stable than it used to be at lower resolutions. So maybe if you lock the FPS, that's another way to mitigate the stuttering issues and get a more smooth and more stable experience. Now, let's try it with DLSS on performance. There we go. For some reason, this game doesn't have ultra performance DLSS. And finally, we are playing at 8K with 60 frames per second. Look at that, dropping down into the 50s. It feels amazing right now. It feels like this is 100 plus FPS and it's a buttery smooth experience compared to what we saw previously. Also, VRAM usage went down considerably now that we're playing at this res, but I see a ton of shimmering actually, so maybe adding a little bit of TSR on top of this. Oh, I can't. Yeah, okay, it makes sense. DLSS already has its anti-aliasing built in. So I guess if you're playing at 8K, you should definitely utilize DLSS performance, guys. Although this is probably the first game that I've seen so far that actually gets a bit shimmery at 8K resolution using performance DLSS. So hello, Jack! It's Jack and Jacqueline, my friends, right? Right? Yes, this one is male, this one is female. This is beautiful. The video couldn't have ended better. Maybe if I killed Bob or something, but I still haven't found Bob, I think, in this game. So, that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next one very soon. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.